Welcome into a very special giant crossover version of Knicks Mail.bag. I am Alex Wolf. I'm editor and chief of the Strickland, which is the website that brings you this podcast, part of the Believe Podcast Network. And we might have another sponsor to tell you guys about soon, but that's not done yet, so I can't say anything. My lips are sealed. But also brought to you by all of you on Patreon. So thank you all, everybody that supports us on Patreon, patreon.com/thestrickland. I will give that pitch in just a moment. I will introduce my normal co-host first. We got Marty Wilpon, Matt Weiss, Warm Perm. All the names that are not his real name, which is Matt. How are you, Matt?
I am well, Alex. As you can see, not appearing by video. I apologize, everyone. My webcam is broken, so instead you get to look at this beautiful picture of our beloved Mr. Dolan on Raya.
Yeah. Those of you not taking in things on YouTube, you can go see that beautiful picture of Mr. Dolan because we are on YouTube now. And if you want to go there and throw us a subscription, maybe a thumbs up, that would be awesome. We're getting pretty close to 1,000, which is exciting. So that would be sick. Anyway, let me introduce next. Do you guys have well, I'll throw it to Doug, Drew Steele. Drew, do you guys have like special little nicknames you introduce yourselves by when you start?
No, you are so much better at this than I am.
Do you call Dallas Schnookums?
It is it is absolutely amazing. But no, I'm just like, hey guys, Dallas is here. What's up, Dallas? And he's like, hiya, how's it going? And then I'm like, that's great, man. I hope you're doing really well. Like, do you got anything to drink or whatever? And he's just like, yeah, I got this smoked Manhattan over the River Falls, and it's some crazy drink he makes. So
smoked Manhattan over the river
over the River Falls. He learned that one in Niagara Falls. Well, Drew Steele, everybody, welcome to this crossover edition. And then we have, as he has just been called, we have Schnookums next.
Schnookums.
Dallas Amico, how are you?
Really happy to be here. I'm excited. I got to change all my social media now to Schnookums.
Oh, wow. I've started a movement. This is beautiful.
Well, good news. We'll all be on Blue Sky Skeeting soon. And then you could be Schnookums there.
Nice.
You guys...
Yeah, I'm going to have to claim that before anyone else.
Yeah, you got to, Alex, your first invitation that you get has to go to Dallas so you can claim at Schnookums.
Just so you can get Schnookums. I'll have to check and make sure nobody took Schnookums already.
Yeah.
Luckily there's probably about 18 ways to spell that, but
do they call it skeeting for real?
So I did get onto Blue Sky early today, and because
what is this thing you're even talking about? Blue Sky?
It's like a new Twitter made by Jack Dorsey, and it's actually really good. And I think it might actually have the legs to maybe actually displace Twitter. It doesn't feel like a weird unfinished product like Mastodon or like freaking T2 or whatever. So I was on there today, and people were trying to be like, oh, what should we call tweets on here? Because they're just called posts right now. But they were like, oh, like the community can name it, ha ha ha. And people were like, well, it's Blue Sky, and like a sky tweet, so we'll call it a skeet.
That's a great name.
That's beautiful.
And so then,
it really is.
So then the CEO of Blue Sky did the worst possible thing, which was tell a bunch of like memeing shit posters that they shouldn't do something. So the CEO was like, guys, we probably shouldn't call them skeets. I prefer something else. And then everybody's like, well, they're called skeets now. All right, that's good to know.
It's done.
And just like the obvious thing to do is to be like, wow, that is the funniest thing ever. We're going to officially call them skeets, and then nobody would call it skeets after that.
Exactly. Like, but, they weren't aware enough. They weren't aware enough. So,
Dallas, what are you drinking, by the way?
It's a Sazerac, which is the greatest cocktail, also known as the New York over the River Falls, or whatever it was that you called it, Doug?
Manhattan over the River Falls.
Manhattan over the River Falls.
Yeah, it was a smoked Manhattan.
Smoked Manhattan over the River Falls. Yeah.
I'm just imagining Dallas walking to a bar now and ordering a New York. And they're like, excuse me?
New York on the rocks. If you never had a Sazerac, though, please go have a Sazerac. It is absolutely the best cocktail that's been ever invented.
Is a New York on the rocks just like dirty hot dog water mixed with vodka over ice?
Hell
But
yeah, that sounds
also you
good.
have to say, first of all, a New York on the rocks.
God, that's terrible.
Brought to you
All
by
right.
the FDNY.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Just not the NYPD.
No,
It comes with a swift kick in the balls and a wrongful arrest.
No.
No, they don't sponsor this one. Strick and roll maybe, but not this one.
Strick and roll sponsored by the NYPD. All right.
Was that the sponsor you were teasing?
No, it's not.
We're working out a contract.
No, it's not. It's not the NYPD. It's actually the Police Benevolent Association.
Yeah.
Even better.
No, we're actually sponsored by the Marines. Hoorah! All right. Anyway, all right. Moving to our next. Moving to the next thing.
Yeah, our next question.
We're not to the next question yet. Next thing, Patreon. If you're not following us on Patreon yet, and you want more great content like this, especially from Drew and Dallas, definitely make sure to visit patreon.com/Strickland or go to the strict.land and visit the Patreon tab. It'll just take you right there. We have all kinds of different memberships, all the way from just like dropping a couple bucks in our cup to say you like us with no other benefit. But if you spend just a couple extra dollars, you get a lot of great stuff. If you don't feel like getting yourself on a brand new social media platform, and jumping on something brand new like I'm apparently doing now, and you hate Twitter, you could join the Strict Cord, and we have that available as part of our $6 a month tier. But the best part is you don't just get access to the Strict Cord, you also get access to Schwinn and Prez's full Pod Strickland on Fridays, which if you're only listening to this on your regular podcast feed, you normally only get a preview of. So there's that. There's also some wait, am I screwing? Oh, you got your guys' mailbag, duh. I almost forgot. Yeah, so then you can hear Drew and Dallas's full mailbag every other week when you're not listening to ours. So that's that for the $6 tier. $9 tier gets you Strick and Roll, the official podcast of the NYPD, hosted by Schwinn, typically every other week. Sometimes varies, but yeah. So you can get that podcast for our $9 a month tier, as well as exclusive written pieces from Matthew Miranda and some of our other talented writers. That's on that tier. You also get a merch discount on there. So if you haven't already, check out the strickland.bigcartel.com or just visit the shop portion of the strict.land and you can check out some merch there. And if you're part of the $9 tier or above, you get discounts off merch. We have a bunch of cool stuff on there, so definitely check that out. And then there's a bunch of other tiers. I don't feel like listing them all out. Just go to patreon.com/Strickland and check them out for yourself and see what you like. But I think we can now get into these questions because we got a bunch. We got a good bunch. We're gonna be here for a couple hours.
Wait, just before we start, Alex, someone's missing.
Oh, is it? Are you talking about Wackery?
Yeah, where's Wackery?
I don't know. He's probably on a date or something. Freaking weirdo.
No, he said he was gone. He said he was gone all weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach. No, he's not coming on. No, I was hoping we'd.
I was like, what is
it?
You guys spent 10 minutes making fun of me last time for not being here, so I can't let Zach go without saying something about him.
And come on, we didn't make fun of you that hard.
I mean, I listened to 15 minutes of the podcast before I was like, okay, they're done talking about me, and I can stop listening. So I don't know.
Good news is we picked it back up again at the end. So
all right. Well, I'm not going to listen to the rest of it.
But to be fair, we got asked a bunch of questions about your absence and all that stuff.
Nobody asked about Zach's absence because no one cares about him, and that is the saddest thing of all.
It's also we have four people here. If there was
five, I didn't even realize.
If there was 5 of us here, I'd be like, Zach, you're off the island. You have to get the fuck out of here. Like, we have too many people.
Would we wait until his cat starts hitting his keyboard and we have to listen to or something crash in his background? There's always some loud noise during every one of our podcast recordings because Zach's cat just destroyed something in his apartment.
But his new cat is so cute.
Yeah, but now he's got 2, and it's probably more destruction.
Yeah, but his explanation
doesn't strike me as a cat person, though.
Zach?
No, he is big time.
He's only a cat person.
And he had his one cat, and then was like, yeah, my cat was getting lonely, so I got another cat. Like, he's a considerate cat owner, man. Yeah. Like, he's taking his cat's feelings into account. He's a good cat owner. He's got like
he just behind like he's like a pet snake guy, you know.
Pet snake.
I could kind of see it.
Komodo dragon.
Komodo dragon.
Exactly.
Bearded lizard. He's got a bearded lizard.
he is-
and
he
he
is.
likes
He named it Blade.
All right. Let's get into these questions. My God, we could go on like this for fucking hours.
This is the problem.
This could be
with
the whole
many
thing.
people.
Matt, we were about to get into questions, and then you sidetracked us
I
onto
know,
his
I
bearded
know.
lizard named Blade.
And well,
Like,
hey,
this is
we got Schnookums on this podcast. We got Zach's bearded lizard Blade.
I want to like send Zach a bearded lizard now and just be like, this is Blade. This
Wait,
is
can
yours.
the four of us chip in? How much do bearded lizards cost? Are we willing
They're-
to split the cost of a bearded lizard 4 ways?
They're only like $50. I think.
mean,
you can get them like
Where do
PetSmart.
you even get one?
You can get one at like PetSmart. They got them there.
Can we like ship it?
I can just. I don't want to
Yeah,
try.
I don't know
to
Zach's
Queens.
address. I'm
I
never
can figure
going
it out. I can
He's
be like
been to
Zach.
my
I
apartment, but-
can be like Zach. I'm gonna deliver something to you.
Yeah.
Can we just say we're
whatever.
gonna
Wait, he ordered-
DoorDash
he ordered a
something to
shirt,
him and it's
actually.
actually the lizard?
He ordered merch. You should have his address. He ordered merch.
Oh yeah, that's true. I do have his
Yeah.
address. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we
I was
can
going to
send
say,
him a
Just,
I mean,
just
he's been.
publicly talking about our privacy violations.
It's just Zach. I don't look at anyone else's address.
Can you
I know,
imagine?
we're gonna
though,
dox
like,
him right now.
Yeah,
I
Alex,
mean-
if you dox him live on air, just look it up now.
All right, yeah. Let's just throw a screenshot up on YouTube
Yeah.
real quick of Zach's address.
Zach's, been to my apartment, but I don't know his address because I would never go to his apartment because he lives in Queens. That's all I'll say, so we don't actually dox him. But
All right, moving on. Let's get to our questions. Question 1. This comes from Mikey Cook 7. These are all from our from the Strickland, by the way. So again, another perk. You get to ask us questions on our mailbag shows because we've basically gotten rid of taking questions on Twitter because we're getting so many freaking questions that we were just like, we're just gonna throw us to the Discord from now on. So from our buddy Mikey Cooks on the Discord, which visual would make you more happy after the Knicks sweep Miami? A defeated Pat Riley in the crowd or Udonis Haslem sobbing on the bench? I will work clockwise in order of the videos. So, Schnookums, what do you think?
Oh, clearly Pat Riley. I mean, Udonis Haslem crying will be hysterical, and I will savor it, but it doesn't have as much meaning as like Pat Riley's fucking old ass getting defeated by the Knicks. Finally, like I need to see that. I need him to retire because of how badly the Knicks beat and embarrassed the Heat, so that he's like, there's no hope for this roster after the way the Knicks dismantled them. That's what I need. Udonis Haslem, what has he ever done to the Knicks? He hasn't played in ever. Like he played like what 15 minutes a game during the like Wade, LeBron, Heatles years or whatever. Like I don't have beef with him. He's funny. He's a character, but I don't give a fuck about like him crying.
Udonis Haslem is so freaking old that he was a huge part of the D Wade and Shaq title team in 2005. I think that was 2005. That's
Something
how
like that. It's been that long.
Yeah, that's how old Haslem is. It's fucking 2023.
He
And
could
this guy's
kids. Like it's totally feasible for him to have grandkids. He's 42.
yeah. I mean, he's also literally just taking up a roster spot just like out of spite at this point. And I don't understand why the Heat aren't like, okay, just fucking retire. We'll make you an assistant coach. Like you could stay on the bench, but we need this roster spot. Like, think about how often with the Knicks, like they need to cycle guys in and out of the roster spots. And yet you have fucking Udonis Haslem with like his lifetime deal of like, we're just going to give you like $1.5 million a year for life as long as you feel like staying in enough cardio shape to play 2 minutes of NBA basketball per year. Must be a really nice existence. All right, Matt, what do you think? What do you think? What's your?
I mean, I agree with Dallas. The answer is Riley. I don't really give a shit about Udonis Haslem getting upset. The funny thing will be Riley is probably too old and decrepit to cry, so he's just gonna like be making a crying face. Like he'll be like his face will be all twisted up and he'll be like clearly distraught, but just no tears coming out because he's too embalmed to cry anymore.
He can't cry through all the Botox. There's
exactly.
too much. Yeah. Doug, what do you think?
Guys, it's clearly Udonis Haslem.
What?
It's clearly. Here's the thing you don't understand about Pat Riley, right? He's already miserable, right? His entire existence is just misery. See how good the Knicks are right now, and look at all the hype that's going just for like beating the Cavaliers. in the first round, right? This is like the best Knicks team in the past 10 years, and they're only going up. If Leon Rose and like Worldwide West managed to bring a title to New York City, given like the current climate and the fan base we have, Pat Riley is his era is not even going to be remembered in terms of like the great Knicks teams, right? Because the 90s are gonna be forgotten because they didn't win. Oh no, am I frozen? No.
You're not frozen for
No,
me.
You're
I'm
not
not.
frozen. Oh, I thought you
Damn,
were
I
like
thought I was frozen.
I thought you were like pretending to
Alex
be.
just fell asleep. And Marty, despite moving a lot, he
No, you guys
just
look
looked like
so
still.
still when I was doing it. But yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like Pat Riley's just gonna be forgotten about. And the fact that he left the Knicks to go to Miami to win in Miami, no one's gonna care because this era of Knicks basketball is gonna be remembered for further. Like it's gonna be eternal. And Pat Riley's just gonna be like, shit, I could have done this in New York the whole time and said I was too
Why?
petty.
Why
And
does
I
that mean
left.
Udonis Haslam is funnier?
I was about to say, I feel like you're making a case for
Yeah.
why Pat Riley is the obvious answer.
Yeah, I don't understand. You didn't say a word about Udonis Haslam there.
Well, what I'm saying is that it doesn't like we already know that's Pat Riley already. Like we don't need to see him miserable. He is perpetually miserable. Like I don't need confirmation on a television screen to see that he's miserable. I already know he's a miserable prick. I just want to see Udonis Haslam cry on the bench.
Okay.
It'll be so funny.
I hear it. There's no extra value added. Like if he's infinitely miserable, like any extra misery, it's like it doesn't add anything. But then Udonis,
Yeah, like his life is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like his life is a joke, and he knows this.
I
What
mean,
I actually want to see is Jimmy Butler try to strangle a ref because he didn't call he didn't call 30 fouls on him in game 5 and made sure that he won.
I don't think. Okay, Drew, I kind of disagree with your Pat Riley assessment. I mean, I think he sleeps pretty well at night. The guy's won
I
3
don't think so.
championships in Miami since taking over there like 25, 30 years ago. Like that's a pretty solid return rate. Like I don't think he's really.
Yeah, but
and
he's
he's
going
like,
to be it's going to be forgotten when the Knicks go on their run. Everything Pat Riley did, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I really don't understand your point at all.
all right. Anyway, all right. For those that that pick Pat Riley, Dallas, is there a Heat player that could be sobbing on the bench that would supersede Pat Riley for you?
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
Matt, what do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, Jimmy Butler, yeah, I actually like Jimmy Butler, but I just do want to see him get very angry when he doesn't, just get handed 35-point games like he did against the Bucks.
Mhm.
But I do want to see Tyler Hero cry.
Oh, damn it! You stole my answer.
He just, not more than Pat Riley, but he just thinks he's so much better than he is.
I think,
And he's injured, so even better.
Yeah. I want to see Tyler Hero in a designer hoodie and some skinny jeans and like a big stupid chain sitting on the bench, like bawling his eyes out. That would beat Pat Riley for me. That would be better. I don't like Tyler Hero. I think he's a fucking loser. So yeah, that would be better. That would be better. All right, let's move to our next question. A little more serious here. A little more serious. ZMP323 in the Discord wants to know, what are your thoughts on Thibs using guards and wings to screen for Brunson? How well do you think it could work against Miami? I'll just go to Dallas again. Dallas, you're the resident film breakdown man. What do you think about this?
Absolutely love guard screens. Against Miami, they're a little tricky. It totally depends on the defense they're running. So if they're starting off with one of their better defenders on Brunson and they're switching, guard screens are going to get you a nice switch and a better advantage for Brunson. So that's going to be awesome. Guard screens, if they're blitzing, is also going to be pretty good because if they're trying to blitz or trap the pick and roll, you'd much rather have Gabe Vincent, coming to the ball and trapping Brunson than Bam Adebayo. That length makes it much harder to get the ball out, to swing the ball to whoever's the open guy. So guard screens in that case are great. If they're Playing it straight up, I think guard screens are pretty good too. So I mean, I think they're awesome against all the stuff you're going to see. Now, where you might have a little bit of trouble is like against the zone. Sometimes guard screens it's not going to get you very much. A lot of times perimeter screens don't get you very much. What matters more is how quickly you can move the ball. You want to get to those places where the zone comes together, and then kick the ball. So then it becomes kind of useless. But yeah, no, guard screens are great. They were super effective against the Cavs. Getting worse defenders on Brunson, or if they were trying to hedge and recover, it just gave him a step because you're trying to communicate with another guy, and it's really tough to do that. Yeah, nothing to hate about him.
All right, Drew, what do you think?
If RJ Barrett's going to be as good as he's been the past 3 games with decision making and finishing at the rim, they're just going to do and I know he's not a guard, he's a wing, but they're just going to do that guard wing screen on a blitz every single time, and the Heat won't have it. They won't have any ability to stop RJ going at the rim. It's not they don't Bam's great and all, but they don't have the same size, and I think it'll just be good night if it happens again. It'll be a lot on RJ and then IQ when he gets in if they play a lot of Brunson and IQ, which they may, because Quickly's really good against the Heat. So we'll see. It should in theory work really well, just given RJ's skill set and how he's been playing. It's a pretty easy play just to get out of anything you want. It's just a great combo right now. So
yeah, I Matt, do you agree?
I do, but I do have something to add.
Oh man, I was setting you up.
I know, but unfortunately,
wait. Can we all agree to at one point during the episode just say I agree in honor of Zach?
I agree.
That is no, not now. It doesn't count. Dallas is never going to just say I agree. He's always going to have an essay he has to read off.
All right. Anyway, add what you want.
I do agree with everything Drew and Dallas said, but I will say I think because the Heat are smaller than the Cavs, they're going to want to use the standard guard big screens more often than they did after game 2 when they really stopped using them. Because especially with Love, if Love's out there, you want to get Love onto Brunson and keep him away from the basket because that's their best rebounding threat. So I think, if Randall plays, we're going to see a ton of Randall for Brunson screens to get Love onto. Or if Bam is guarding Randall, I guess, which would be interesting, then you get Bam. So I'm just cracking up because Dallas is giving me very, very heavy nods, which you can't hear if you're listening to this, but I feel very approved right now that Dallas is giving me the thumbs up. Anyway, So I think my guess is Thibs going to go back to kind of his standard playbook to start, just to see how well the guard big screens work against Miami, because they probably are going to work better than they did against the Cavs.
Yeah, it's funny because I could see either working quite well. Outside of, so I mean, obviously Miami is a good scheme in place on defense, but they don't have a ton of amazing defenders. I feel Jimmy Butler, yes,
and Bam.
Yes, that's pretty much it. If you can take advantage of what they give you otherwise on the floor, you're in really good shape, I feel like. And I'm with you. I actually think I would look more for big screens in this one. I really enjoyed the Knicks were in game 4, I believe. They were doing, or was it game 5? I forget now. Anyway, they were doing a lot of double big screens where they were bringing both Julius and Mitch up to the top of the 3-point line, and then kind of giving Brunson the option of okay, take either one of these options. And if they're able to do that against the Heat, I feel like they could be in good shape, because then, as you said, you can either get Love stranded on an island against Brunson, or try to get Bam in foul trouble by getting him into actions, because once you get if you get him in foul trouble, they're kind of screwed. They don't have a ton of options behind him at the 5. It's Cody Zeller, who doesn't scare me very much, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, you saw Zeller against the Bucks the other night. They don't want that.
No, they definitely don't want that. It was a miracle that they had the guys foul out that they didn't still manage to pull that game out. Probably more of a testament to just how fraudulent the Bucks are than how good the Heat are, if we're being honest. But yeah, I'm totally with you guys. I think there needs to be lots of screens, period. That's the main thing. Like, don't let these guys get stranded on islands. Don't just do your ISO shit. You know.
Well, Dallas, I want to ask you something. So,
I was just real quick. It depends on what kind of coverage you're getting. Because if like they're blitzing, first of all, you don't want to do a big like a screen with Mitch because you don't want him to be the outlet pass. And then but I agree with everything else you're saying. But then the other thing is you don't want to set screens when you have one of the things the Knicks had trouble with early in the season is they would get a favorable switch and then they would set screens and allow like you're like, what are you doing? Or because then you let the defense recover. So there are times where like against a switching team where you want to be like, all right, let's just chill. You got a mismatch in early semi-transition or something like that.
But
over screen in those situations where I'm like, just like stop doing these like toss back things, Brunson. You've got like you get Kevin Love on a cross match, just freaking take him.
Yeah. And I think Brunson is smart enough to know that. Like I think the goal should just be get Kevin Love on Jalen Brunson.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I want to ask Dallas. Shouldn't Thibs' whole game plan on offense be get Love on Brunson? Because that works in two ways. One, Love is a shitty individual defender, so Brunson's going to cook him. And two, he's their best rebounder. So like you don't want him anywhere near Mitch because then Mitch will just get 11 offensive boards every game. Like I'm not as scared of Bam as a rebounder.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you there. I think it's just going to depend on the scheme. Like, you know, they're going to be changing schemes all the time. So if they're in zone, like you're not going to get Kevin Love on Brunson, no matter what you want to do. If they're hedging and recovering, you're not getting Kevin Love on him either. Maybe you're involving him in the play, but you're not getting him on him. You know what I mean? Like the only times you're going to get on him is really if they're switching, which because of Brunson's ability in isolation, it wouldn't surprise me if you don't see a ton of that. And also because of their concerns with Mitch, it wouldn't surprise me if you don't see a ton of that. Because my guess is that they're going to try to keep on defense Kevin Love like glued to Mitch in terms of like preparing to box out that sort of thing.
I mean, the other thing is the Knicks, like they figured it out in that one game against the Heat, but like all season they sucked against the zone. So the Heat are probably going to come out playing zone, and they're going to have to be prepared for that.
But the Knicks
they'll go to zone for a whole quarter or for like a whole half. They're like they're cool with it in a way no other NBA team is. Yeah. Like most teams are like 2 plays, 3 plays. We're worried that you're going to figure it out, but the Heat are like, nah, come on, we'll play a whole series in zone. Yeah.
The Knicks also
they're just very disciplined in the zone. Like that's the thing. Like they can switch easily from 2-3 to 3-2 anytime, and they just are way too disciplined. That's where they're going to play a lot of zone. That's what they're probably really going to do is play a lot of zones.
The Knicks also got better at busting zones by the end of the year, though.
They did, yeah.
And most of the difference was their 3-point shooters started 3-point shooting, and that made life a lot easier. But then they were also like attacking closeouts and shifting that zone around and finding the holes in it. So
yeah, I mean, to that point, Quickly has got to play more than 25 minutes a game in this series.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I think it was okay that Thibs kind of limited his minutes against the Cavs, but he's got to play like closer to 30 against the Heat. I don't think we need to see Josh Hart for 47 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No.
No. And especially because he's lightly nursing an injury.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
and also like with Grimes, I mean, we probably won't anyway because Grimes is going to play, and like the main reason is Thibs will probably be like, oh, Hart's got to play every possession against Butler, but I assume he's going to be fine with Grimes on Butler. So,
so that should help. That should help matters a little bit. All right, let's move to our next question. This comes to us from Clyde Quickly in the Discord. If asked, what would you name the Miami club that Thibs would frequent in between coaching jobs? Objective. Wait, the word objective wasn't in this. Whatever. Objective being that everyone would know what the experience was like just from hearing the name. So we'll go counterclockwise this time. Drew, what would Thibs's club be named that would tell you exactly what you needed to know about the club?
Ice.
Would there be lots of ice sculptures?
Yeah, it's ice, baby.
Is it
ice in Miami?
Is the whole thing
the whole
ice?
Thing's ice?
Like a Quebec ice hotel? How much would it cost to maintain? How much would it cost to keep that full of ice all year round?
The cocaine money that comes through Miami, they got it. They got it on lock. It's going to be
how much would it cost? The cocaine money.
That's what it's going to be.
Because as Thibs very involved in the cocaine trade in Miami, so he'll have access.
He is.
Matt, you can go
Yes.
next. I'm going to look up a trivia question for us real
Okay.
quick.
I would call it Rasp after his voice.
Okay.
That's it. Go ahead, Dallas. That's all I got.
I think Thibs would go to a club called Fragrance. And it would just be like every room in the club would have a different fragrance, a different scent. And the whole thing would be themed around like the joys of the nose. The beauty of, there'd be like a chocolate chip cookie room. There'd be like,
What does this have to do with Thibs?
Thibs looks like a man who appreciates good smells. Like he likes, that's,
Yeah, he likes a good musk, you know,
fresh
like an aqua
flower,
noir.
freshly cut bouquet. That's Thibs is all about that. That's my view. That's what I think.
Okay. All right. What would you guys anticipate is the total gross of cocaine sales in Miami per year?
Gross sales or gross
Are we
like
doing
revenue?
dollars or
Let's just say the total amount. Total amount doesn't have to be like profit made. What's the total amount that they're sold?
But it's dollars.
Dollars, yes.
Okay.
100 million.
100
65 billion.
That's low.
65 billion. Okay.
Okay, well that's definitely high.
No, man, I'm telling you, it's on point.
I'm going to say 325 million.
Okay. All right. Matt and Dallas, you guys are criminally low.
Damn.
Drew, you might be closer
Thank you.
somehow.
65 billion.
All right.
Thank you.
So
What's
I
the
can't
answer?
so I can't find an exact number of just like what is moved per
Wait,
year.
you made
or
us
whatever.
guess so you don't have an exact
Wait,
number?
aren't we playing Prices Right
No.
rules?
But I did find this
No
article.
way.
Oh, should I? Well, I can't give a guess. I can't give.
No, you know what it is. No, but I'm saying we were playing Prices Right rules, I assume, and Drew definitely went over, even if it's like 10
Drew's
billion.
probably over, so you probably win
Hell
by
yeah.
default of being a Price is Right, like $65.01, Bob, kind of
hey,
person.
$1.
I had to make the rules.
$1,
I had to make the
Bob.
rules.
Anyway, all right. So in 2016, the Coast Guard offloaded 26.5 tons of cocaine seized in an Eastern Pacific drug transit. That 26.5 tons that was apparently, I would assume, on like one freighter, was worth $715 million in wholesale value. So resale value, that's probably worth at least 1.5 billion.
Dude,
And
I'm so much closer, and that's only one
That,
shipment.
but that doesn't mean it's all sold in Miami. Like a lot of that's going to get taken up to New York, and a lot of that's going to get taken to LA.
All right. I think the moral of the story is, though, I would be surprised if it's not at least that much in Miami per year.
This episode brought to you by Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, with our new connections to the NYPD,
we can
surely they can call up the DEA and get us some accurate numbers so we can see who actually was right here.
I'm telling you, I got it right.
It's not 65 billion.
It's not 65 billion. It's definitely not.
I'm telling you, it's 65 billion.
All right, we'll research this for another time. Maybe we'll drop this in Discord once we figure it out.
Our researchers will get right on it, guys.
Our researchers will get right on it, aka me, if I feel inclined enough to continue looking into this subject, which I probably won't. All right, Dallas, did you give your name of your club yet?
What? Did you miss his whole thing?
I did.
It was ridiculous.
I was reaching.
Oh my god,
sorry.
it was so stupid.
Next question.
No, wait,
Jesus
I didn't get
Christ.
mine.
Go ahead, Dallas.
Go ahead, Dallas. Give me the cliff notes.
No, I already gave it. It's good.
No.
Oh.
Here's the 1,000 foot view or 10,000 foot view, Alex. Dallas has decided that Thibs is a man who likes his smells.
Okay.
The club is called fragrance. In every room, there's a different fragrance, you know?
Okay. Interesting.
You got the chocolate chip cookie room. Got the stinky
That room sounds so good right now.
I'm disappointed I was zoned out reading about cocaine while
I can't believe you missed that whole thing. We were
it's
Drew and
tough,
I were
man.
incredulous.
This is why most podcasts have like a producer that sits on the side and can research things whatever, like while people are talking.
The thing is, like, Paul doesn't even produce this podcast, so you're the producer.
All me, baby. I'm producing and directing and hosting and giving opinions. All right, so my Thibs club would be called the VCR.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a little inside joke.
Thibs gets laid every night at VCR.
All right, next question. Oh, this is related. This one comes from our buddy Vivek V.Hania on Discord. What's Thibs's drink of choice when he goes clubbing in Miami? Dallas, you first.
The New Yorker, clearly.
It's the New York. You fucked it up. It's the New York.
The New York. The smoky New York.
The New York. Dirty hot dog water and vodka on the rocks.
Yeah. He definitely does not. He definitely does not care what his alcohol tastes like. He's like, whatever will help him crunch an extra hour of film, like whatever, just nasty. He's like, he probably drinks Everclear. He's just, he's like, if I just take, that'll get me through the next. It's gonna wake me up and get me through the next 30 minutes of film.
He's just like, what's gonna be the most efficient? Give me this.
Yeah, he's chugging rubbing alcohol.
I'll find one more Obi Toppin mistake on defense before I go to bed.
All right. I'm gonna switch the order up. We're gonna go crisscross this time. Drew, what's Thibs' drink of choice when he goes clubbing?
He's drinking White Claws.
No loss with the claws in Miami.
He's crushing White Claws, man. Black cherry White Claws.
Do you think Black Cherry is worried about his weight?
No, definitely not.
No, it's for him. This is the best way to get fucked up. He's like, I love White Claws.
But why Black Cherry? You think that's his?
So I had a Black Cherry. I had my first one the other night, and it was a Black Cherry one. Some random guy just gave it to me, and I was like, sick, man.
It's my least favorite flavor.
How did you make it until 2023, never having had a White Claw before?
Where would I have one?
In the world? What do you mean? Where would you have one?
A barbecue on a boat?
Barbecue? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Oh, what? Who goes on boats?
What?
People during the summer?
You've never been on a boat
I
before?
don't go on boats. No, people don't go on boats. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? How are you acting like I'm the crazy
Who goes on boats?
You just don't go
Does it look
on
like I'm
boats.
someone who's like, hey, you know where I want to go? I want to go on a boat.
How do you
about it?
How do you get to work?
A kayak.
Not a boat, by the way.
Oh, God.
Wait, a kayak is a boat, right?
Yeah, no. But
Is it? What's that?
It's a boat.
Boat?
I think it's a boat.
it's a boat. It is. I'm
Researchers
just
are getting
kidding.
on it right now.
Yeah.
A kayak is a boat. It's a small vessel propelled on water by oars, sails, or an engine. So kayak's a boat.
Yeah, I know.
I
was saying that to support Drew's bit of saying.
I thought maybe it was like I wasn't sure if it was a square rectangle thing. I didn't know if
There is. I used to have a friend who'd get really mad about the difference between boats and ships, and I never figured it out. But he cared a lot about this distinction. He's like, ships are cool, but boats are not, in his view. And he thinks
he sounds like Drew's kind of guy.
What?
Sounds like that kind of guy.
Drew will get on a fucking ship. Don't you worry. He'll get on a ship.
I'll go on a ship.
We're going to yacht around, and Drew is on that immediately. But a boat.
Wait, Matt, I want to revisit the square versus not square thing.
No,
you
rectangle.
said?
Square versus rectangle, because all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
I thought you were saying like boats, like being squares and rectangles. What the fuck?
What he was thinking was he was thinking maybe all boats are kayaks, but not all kayaks are boats.
Okay. Yeah.
Other way around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No. He was thinking
The old
that
proverb.
All right. How did we stray so far? Matt, what's Thibs' drink of choice when he goes clubbing in Miami?
Okay, I don't actually believe this, but I want to say Thibs is very up with the times, and he drinks espresso martinis, like a basic 28-year-old woman.
Okay.
He probably does. I actually see that. I can see that
because it's got the espresso, and he's a martini man. He likes it extra dirty.
Do you think Thibs gets access? Does Thibs get access to to the team's chefs, like the people who are
Oh,
making
for
the food.
sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
But then he can just be like, don't make me the healthy shit and like make me drinks as well. And like,
Yeah.
because he's not a
I'm
player.
I'm just imagining
Well,
Thibs
you know
out
he
with,
only
like,
asked
the
for chicken
players,
tenders.
out with all the players and all of their partners at a club, and like, you know, they're all, or like a bunch of them are ordering espresso martinis, and Thibs is like, "What is that? It looks really good." And then he just now loves espresso martinis.
I could see this.
I think Tibbs's drink of choice is water. He's that guy that just drinks water at the club all night because he's like, I need to keep my mind sharp. I got to coach tomorrow. And if he ever had a hangover when he had to coach, he would like consider it the greatest failure of his life.
Is he somebody though who just does he drink it like in something that's obviously water, or does he put it in like a rocks glass and like try to pretend like he's fitting in?
No, he brings his own jug.
He takes the obviously water cup there and also chastises people for drinking. We'll be like, "Are you sure you need that other one, Jalen? Are you sure you need that?"
He's on the dance floor with his
Emmanuel, you take one more sip of that, Emmanuel, and that's 3 more minutes off your playing time tomorrow. You're not right in the head.
He's got Obi Toppin and RJ Barrett sitting right next to each other, drinking the same amount. And with RJ, he's like, "RJ, you're looking great, bud. You're looking great. Obi, you take one more sip, you're benched the rest of the fucking week."
Julius, what's that? You're plastered again? 45 minutes tomorrow, baby.
45 minutes. You got to sweat it out, buddy. Hair of the talk. All right. All right. Next question. This one's a fun one. Salty B.O.B. out of Discord wants to know, why does Evan Mobley get the benefit of the doubt for being young when he's literally 1 year younger than RJ Barrett? Matt, what do you think?
It's prospect fatigue. This happens with prospects. RJ's been in the league for 4 years already, since he came in when he was so young, and so people don't realize that RJ is 22 and Mobley is fresh and new, and RJ's not fresh and new. So RJ doesn't get the benefit of the doubt for being young because people they've seen him for too long and they forget. That's the first serious answer I've given.
Wow, congrats.
Actually, I answered that screen question for real. Anyway, but I do think that's the issue, is that RJ has just been in the league for 4 years already, so people forget that he's so young.
Dallas, what do you think? What do you think the disconnect is with people?
And everybody watched him the year before too at Duke. Like nobody watched USC.
True.
Nobody was trying to catch Mobley games.
Yeah.
In college, unless maybe Prez and the draft Strickland people. Nobody else was watching him. I can tell you that much. I think Matt's answer is right, but I would also add that I think they both should get the benefit of the doubt. Like they're extraordinarily young and both have a lot of room and a lot of time to grow and to get better. And like that's cool.
Wow, missed opportunity to dunk on him, but also very sweet of you.
Julius Randle already did that.
Hey. All right. Drew, do you have anything to add to that?
I agree.
Yes. We did it, folks.
There's your I agree.
We did it.
This is like only semi-related, but I don't think we have any actual Donovan Mitchell questions. Do you guys see now there are quotes going around again that, everyone's saying Donovan Mitchell is going to go right to New York when he's a free agent? I don't want him anymore. Yeah. I don't want him. Don't come here.
That choke artist. Yeah. No, thanks, buddy. We got culture here and you're not part of it.
I mean, but like, see, for real though, like I don't want him on this team. Where would you put him?
Yeah. I didn't. Once we got Brunson, I didn't want him.
Yeah, I mean, he would just make our defense worse.
The fit is horrible.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll add to the Mobley discussion is RJ plays in the toughest market in the country, where diamonds are made from coal, and he's coming out a diamond right now, hopefully. And Mobley plays in a nice, soft, squishy, small market where everybody wants him to be good and whatever. So there's no pressure. So
where they literally mine for coal. That's where he plays.
Yeah, where they literally mine for the coal that becomes New York Diamonds is where Evan Mobley plays. So that said, I do agree on a serious note. I agree with Dallas. Like Mobley's gonna be really fucking good. Like he's like my favorite description of him that I thought of myself was like Chris Bosh, but like where you could see a potential where he could be a lot better than Chris Bosh. Like very similar style play though, like impacts the game defensively, has potential for shooting, like can play the 5, can play the 4, is just super versatile. You know, I think he's gonna be really, really good. So shout out to Evan Mobley, future Nick. Can Evan Mobley become a Nick instead of Donovan Mitchell?
Oh, that'd
do that?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. All right, next question comes to us from Max Julian in the Discord, and Max wants to know, how do you factor in internal development into the Knicks' long-term plans, given their age or lack thereof at some positions? For example, RJ, IQ, Grimes, etc. So Drew, I'll throw it to you first. How do you factor internal development into the Knicks' long-term plans, especially considering like this year they might not have a draft pick? So I guess like you kind of have to start thinking about like, okay, these guys that we have on the team right now might be it for going into next year too.
I guess I wasn't really understanding the question that much.
Yeah,
so
I think it's just
totally.
I think it's just like, how much are you? So the way that I take this is, how much are you buying into internal development as it pertains to this team being able to get demonstrably better going forward? Or do you think that as far as long-term plans go, that these guys, the younger guys on the team, are ultimately just going to be like part of something bigger to acquire a different player or something?
Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I think what's going to be interesting at some point is how much everyone starts developing. We're talking about like who you potentially have to give up at some point, right? Because like if Grimes takes another step, say next year, like he develops like I don't know, like he develops a little more like off the ball, like shooting or something like that, right? And it's like, oh, he's really good now. Like he's gonna get a lot of money quickly if he takes another step. Is definitely gonna get a lot of money. Obi right now keeps showing proof that like he looks good too. So like you're talking about like a lot of cap stuff at some point if the development's too good. So, but like they're definitely considering it. So for that, but if they're too good, it's going to be an interesting problem that they're going to face. They may not, because is Dolan going to pay the taxes, and how good is the team? How good is that team going to be, as well?
Yeah, I think the Knicks need to engage in a little like value suppression, like in the MLB, and just keep their guys down for a number of years. Just not play.
What do you think Thibs has been doing with Obi and with Quickly?
It's kind of true.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly.
Yeah.
The long game, baby.
Like there are some good things too with the contract, because I think Brunson's descending, right? And like Mitch is descending. They're like locked up. Randall and Barrett are ascending, but you're hoping that, well, Randall basically gave like all NBA impact, right? Like max level player impact on a sub max contract. It'll be we'll see if Barrett can outproduce it. But like if those three are consistently outproducing that, like that's pretty good for them like moving forward as well. Like they can actually like they do have some good security right now too with their contracts.
Yeah. Dallas, I guess put another way, do you think that this team, if they don't make a big swing for like a big trade for a star at some point, could develop into a team that eventually becomes a championship caliber team, a la like the Warriors or something?
Well, I don't know about becoming...
No, like we're talking about, like, not like the greatest dynasty of all time, but I just mean like the arc of like leading up to their first title, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Think about when the prime of this core, if you were saying like, when do you think this group that's playing together is going to be at their absolute best? It's like 5 years from now. Like that's when like Brunson's like 31 and you have like Quick is like 28. That's when Grimes is 28. RJ's 27. Obi, I guess, would be 30, I think. Like that's when like the prime, that's how much growth there is left, right? Like I think you have another 2-3 years of upward trajectory easily with a lot of these guys before you're really hitting primes. So yeah, no, I think it's definitely possible. This group on its own could get there. I mean, I don't know if it will happen, but you know, and then things happen like this year where you can go on a run. If you're good enough, like you're just consistently in that, you know, 3 to 6 sort of area in your conference. You beat a good team and then you get some injury luck and, you know, the Heat beat the Bucks and you beat them and you are a good matchup for the Celtics. And the next thing you know, you could be in the finals, right? Like it's the fact that it's not impossible that it could happen this year. Like the Heat seem like a pretty great matchup for us, I feel. Celtics, I think the Celtics would have to be favored, but like it's not, what is it? Maybe you think they win that 60 or 65% of the time or something, but that's, you know, if you think the Knicks are favored in this series, you know, that you're talking about like, you know, a 20% chance or something of the Knicks ending up in the finals, which is like crazy, right? And that's with this team as it is right now, with probably some growth as Brunson more comfortable being the primary. Quickly is clearly going to continue growing. RJ is going to grow. Obi has a bunch. I mean, it's just grind. There's so much room for growth on this team. And you're already in a position like this where, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we also have another year where don't go as far as we might go this year. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing that can happen even with those solid 3 to 6 range teams. But yeah, I like the question because it's a good thing to be thinking about.
Yeah. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I generally agree with everything both Dallas and Drew said in the ways in which they overlapped. I'm of two minds about it because I think, you know, as Dallas was getting at, there's a scenario in which the Knicks fucking win the championship this year that's not unrealistic. But that doesn't mean they're good enough to be a championship caliber team. It's really just that, look, they were a great match for the Cavs. They fucking pants the Cavs. The Heat beat the Bucks, and you know the Knicks are clearly better than the Heat. That doesn't mean they're going to win this series, but we should expect that. And then, yeah, I mean the Celtics are better, but the Knicks are a very good matchup for the Celtics. And I think, and you know, Alex, you and I talked about this, you know, not on the Discord privately, but like I think I would not be shocked if the Knicks completely pants the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, I also wouldn't be surprised. I think I'd be more surprised if the Celtics pants the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals and vice versa, although I'd be, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics just win the series. But anyway, it's besides the point. So, you know, they could go to the finals this year in a pretty realistic way, but that doesn't mean they're, you know, a consistent championship caliber team, and I don't think they're there yet. So I think the thing you have to upgrade is, as much as I'm like back on the Randall train this year, and he would have been amazing in Game 5 if he hadn't gotten injured again. Clearly, he like finally fucking figured out what he needed to do. I don't think he and Obi can coexist forever as Obi gets into his prime. And whereas a month ago I was saying trade Obi, I think it's trade Randall. And you know, you try to figure out some way to consolidate Randall with some assets to get a different type of star level player, hopefully. Or you just use it to get more assets so you can then turn into a star level player later. Because, yeah, Brunson will get better, RJ will get better, Quickly will get better, Obi will get better, Grimes will get better, Hart will get a little better, although he's, you know, older than all those guys, assuming he stays around. But I think they probably need one more, like, star-level player, and I don't really want it to be Randall if Obi's still here, and I kind of feel like I would rather have Obi around, is how I feel about it.
I agree. All right. I'm willing to just call it that because I think you guys all made really good points. I guess I'll just say, like, I agree. I do think that this team could potentially turn into a championship caliber team. However, if I were going to bet on it, if I was able to like place some sort of weird 5-year prop bet or something, like if the Knicks win a championship, will it be with this same core? I would probably bet no. I bet at some point they will try to consolidate some of their young guys and get some sort of bigger star to create their own like sort of big 3, big 4 situation. It would probably be a big 3. I feel like RJ would probably be the one that would end up being the headliner of a deal for some dude to pair with Brunson and Randall. And we'll see who eventually becomes available at some point, if the Knicks are in on that player or whatever. But they have so many picks too that like when you have that much of a surplus of picks, there's always that chance that they're all going to fall in the same year, and then you're going to have to take like a drastically lower return on investment for them, than you would as if they were part of a star package. So I think the Knicks will recognize that, and they'll probably try to do that at some point, maybe even as soon as the summer. But I guess we'll see how it goes. All right, our next question. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to throw this at you because like this is like the general discussion, like right, like everything we're talking about. Since it's not inconceivable that the Knicks can beat the Heat, right? That means it's not inconceivable that Eastern Conference Finals is a possibility. If they compete with the Celtics, who is the actual upgrade that we're even talking about, right? Like this was just an Eastern Conference Finals, like young team with very much room to grow. So you're talking about like
the
elite of the elite. Then,
if Giannis doesn't get hurt and the Bucks don't choke, the Knicks aren't beating the Bucks.
No, I get that, but you still need to follow the results though too, right? Like you can't just ignore the results because like something fluky happened.
I just think like they need like the Sixers too. They're not going to run to the Sixers because I think the Celtics are going to beat the Sixers, but like I don't think they would beat the Sixers. I think they're going to get lucky and avoid the two teams that would spank them in these playoffs. But they're going to need some way to beat them down the line. And I don't know that like just waiting for all these guys to continue to get better is enough to beat those teams.
I think what would end up happening is just like from a Leon Rose perspective, he would look at like the fact that they did get to, let's say that they went to the Eastern Conference Finals and they lost to the Celtics in 6 games or something like, but it was a very competitive 6-game series or even a 7-game series. You would look at that and you'd be like, yes, it's really encouraging. And yet also I think that they would look at that and be like, well, we're clearly a little ahead of schedule right now. So like if we're able to make a move to immediately become a title contender by like next year, like not just a contender, but like a title favorite potentially, then I think they would do it.
Well, Alex, to your point.
I just think we're talking about a very elite player though, and I don't know how realistic that actually
I'm imagining Devin Booker, and here's why. If it wouldn't be next year, but in 2 years, Kevin Durant's gone, the Suns might blow it up, and like you put Booker on this team, replace essentially Randall with Booker in the starting lineup. So you've got, Brunson, Booker, Grimes, Obi, Mitch, with RJ, Quickly, and Hart all coming off the bench. Like that's a better team than we have now. Is it not?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
RJ's not coming off the bench.
So then,
I don't think you're going to see that happen.
It's Brunson, Booker, RJ, Obi, Mitch, or Brunson, Booker, RJ, Grimes, Mitch, whatever. Like the point is, I think those are your main 8 guys, and that's a better replacing Randall with Booker makes this a higher ceiling team, which is what I would want to do.
I'm also thinking of like if they would look at like the Clippers and be like, go after one of Kawhi or Paul George,
and just be like, play anymore, either of them.
Yeah, I mean, Kawhi definitely worries me the most. I'm just like, dude, you never play when when you need to be playing anymore.
I would invest in Udonis Haslem before
But I think Paul George still has some game too. But both of them are just like so fragile though at this point. Yeah. But I wonder if the Knicks would look at that and if there was an ability to get one of those guys where they didn't have to give up like the entire farm for them, that they would maybe look at that as like an upgrade. But that maybe, let's say that cost you RJ Barrett and like Evan Fournier for salary matching, and then like a couple of those protected picks or something. If the Clippers are willing to just like be like, we're gonna just pull the plug on this experiment and reboot, then maybe that's something they look into. But that would be the sort of move I'm thinking of like Paul George, if he could stay healthy, is clearly a better player than RJ Barrett right now, I think, and would elevate your team to, potentially being a title contender. But also, you take a chance then of, like you said, Dallas, like they are obviously showing a trajectory too, that like they're getting better every single year. And we finally saw like, oh, you just add a real point guard to this team and suddenly they're an Eastern Conference Finals or NBA Finals dark horse this year, because that made all the difference in the world, and that was kind of just like the final piece they needed in Brunson, plus all the development of all the young guys. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how it all ends up working out. That's a summer question, though. I'm sure we're gonna have to answer that one 8,000 times after the Knicks get knocked out, whenever that may be, or after the Knicks win the championship. In which case, then we'll just be like, the Knicks will never make another move again. This team will just last forever and win more championships.
Exactly.
But our next question comes to us from one of our own. Comes from it's Zach, and Zach wants to know, if Dylan Brooks were a WWE heel, who would he be, and why is it not X-Pac? Did you guys have to answer this question, or was this just posed somewhere else about Dylan Brooks being X-Pac?
For Schwinn and Zach's Q&A.
Oh, for their Q&A, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to bow out of this. I don't even know who X-Pac is or any wrestlers. This is all you, Alex, I think.
Drew, didn't you watch wrestling in the early 2000s?
No, I did. That's why I'm shaking my head as a no, it's not X-Pac. Like, it is definitely not X-Pac. If you're taking a DX member, it's definitely closer to, Road Dogg Jesse James.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's who the DX member he would be. He wouldn't be X-Pac.
But also, DX weren't heels. DX were like the biggest baby faces in the company. So
I know that's kind of the thing too, right? It would have to be this thing where it's like, if you're picking a DX member, you picked the wrong DX member, and they were pretty beloved, even though like they were supposed to be. It was like the heels you love, in a way.
So I think Schwinn threw out D'Lo Brown as the heel that he would be.
That's not too bad. I mean, Hollywood Hogan would work because of the stupid the stupid mustache they both have.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a heel that was like all talk, but like never actually won the big matches. Like someone who's great on the mic, but terrible in the ring. And I can't think of one because
he'd be a good fourth Dudley brother.
Yeah. It would be
like everyone loves the Dudleys.
He'd be like Chris Jericho if Chris Jericho sucked in the ring. Like, because Jericho was so amazing on the mic. But like if Jericho had like zero wrestling ability or was like completely mid, but Jericho
had terrible facial hair. Yeah.
Yes, and had terrible facial hair. So yeah, I think these are all valid answers. The Dudleys were mostly over too, though. The Dudleys were like mostly faces. So I don't.
No, I know that's the thing. It's just like he has the look of these specific wrestlers, but like he doesn't fit them.
Yeah. Maybe like no. I can't. All the names I want to bring up, I'm like, no, they were actually good at their job, and Dylan Brooks isn't even that. So
no, he's not good. That's the thing. Yeah. He's not good.
He's some forgettable heel that was good on the mic but terrible in the ring. That's the real answer. And maybe we'll have to do a little Googles afterwards, or someone in the Discord can Google like bad early 2000s WWE
researchers
heels.
Will get on this.
The researchers will get right onto it, along with the drug trade. And what was the other thing? We need something else to research. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. All right. Before we lose Dallas and Matt, Matt's probably like half asleep right now behind his Dolan avatar.
Literally texting. I'm like half listening, trying to be like, okay, when are they saying something I need to respond to? Not yet. All right.
You're right. Here it comes. I'm gonna throw this one right at you, pal.
All right.
Duder Adam. Will Barrett have a series more similar to his games 3 to 5 versus the Cavs, or 1 to 2?
3 to 5 for sure. I don't. Oh, Dallas doesn't agree. The face you made, I thought you were like, no. I think there's frankly, he's played so well that I have no reason to believe he will never play a bad game. Like, I'm just going to assume he's going to play this well until he stops playing this well, until he starts making stupid decisions again. It's not even about like the points he's scoring, because I mean he hit more threes, but still, I'm not even worried about that. He's still fucking missing free throws, which makes me want to scream. But it's about the decisions he's making. He's just making such good decisions. It's like he finally realized what he needs to do, what people have been begging him to do for like the entire year, what Thibs apparently has been begging him to do for the entire year, is just like, don't try to run into 6 guys at the rim. And he's like, he's passing out of those situations if he needs to. So I don't see any reason like the Heat are gonna not be packing the paint with Mobley and Allen. So I mean, I guess the only worry is that he might be more bullheaded because he's not going to see those two guys there. But I don't think we have any reason to believe he's not going to keep playing at this high level. I think he really just like figured some shit out.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you. I feel like it's going to be more similar to games 3 to 5. One, because something has clearly clicked with him, but then two, because he's going from, I mean, his whole style of ball, he couldn't hit a three still in even in those good games, but he was getting into the paint and then he was finishing against Mobley and Allen like nonstop. And I understand that like Bam is maybe a little bit more of a brick shit house than Allen was, and might be able to absorb those like shoulder contacts from RJ a little better. But like Kevin Love sucks on defense, dude. Like he is hot garbage. Like he is going to not do anything like what Evan Mobley was doing as far as deterrence goes at the rim. And I think RJ should be able to match up Hunt and find his way into the paint plenty and still, do what he was doing against the Cavs. But Dallas, what do you think about all that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing I know is that RJ Barrett is going to get a ton of reps against Gabe Vincent, and Thibs loves that mismatch. I think every Heat game we played this year, we started with RJ Barrett in the post against Gabe Vincent, and that was like, and we did that multiple times through every game. So I know we're going to see that. I know Thibs is going to go to that. So he's going to have his opportunities. One thing you might say is like, well, people have been talking about like the Heat, unrealistic hot shooting. They're likely to come back to earth, play more like they played in the regular season. You might think, oh, well, maybe RJ is more likely to come back and play the way he did all regular season and what we know him to be, kind of thing. But I think what you guys have been saying is the right sort of answer to that kind of critique. It's that he basically still shot like shit, like very inefficiently. Like you look at his true shooting, you're like, that's not an impressive playoff true shooting percentage for a big wing. He shot like 25% or 28% or something terrible from three for the series. But the difference was like effort and intensity and a little bit of decision making. I thought he had less of a leap there. I thought he's been pretty good since the All-Star break in terms of decision making. Maybe there was a little bit more consistency, but yeah. So it's like the stuff he got better at is the stuff that is like, all right, if you're just going to come out and actually play hard, cool. That's you're gonna be way better than when you don't try, or when you don't bend down to pick up a loose ball, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that where you're like, yeah, that's easy to project that continuing. Now maybe next year in the regular season, I'll have some questions about, are we going to see it in January? Are we going to see it in, February doldrums or whatever? And maybe there's some questions there, but yeah, for these next few games, I think we're going to see it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think all the indicators are there for him to keep it going. Drew, what do you think about RJ Barrett?
I got nothing. I got nothing to add.
You agree?
I agree.
You agree. That's all you got to say, buddy.
Drew is our I agree leader tonight.
Yeah, Drew is winning in the I agree department. Mm-hmm. This is the problem when you have panels of like 4 people, is that we all exist in the same hive mind too, and often we're all going to be thinking the same things.
All right, so Drew, you got to start being Skip Bayless and just like pretend to have the opposite opinion.
You need to bring up LeBron James unprompted in the next question. All right.
I'm ready.
All right. ZMP323 wants to know, why not us? Drew, why not us?
Because it's not LeBron, right? LeBron is just a joke.
It's not LeBron
of a player, and he is just not. He's not Jordan. He never has been, and he never will be.
Incredible.
But what do you think about the Dallas Cowboys?
Cowboys are a great team. Like, I was watching Emmitt Smith just running the other day, and he was just running right behind that offensive line.
Man, you've really done you've studied your Skip Bayless tape. You've got this nailed down.
I know it like the back of my hand.
The only thing missing is the like clear implication that Skip, despite all the shit he talks about LeBron, wants to fuck him.
Oh,
never Michael Jordan, but his glistening biceps Man.
Oh yeah,
those are-
he has an 8-pack, and it is just I'm ready to wash my clothes on him.
I'm ready to wash my clothes. Oh, you also have to mention your wife, Ernestine. Don't forget about that.
Who Skip's married? Get the hell out of here! Really?
Wait. Do you not know about this? So he is married,
No.
and his wife
There's
is
no
named
way
Ernestine.
he's married.
It was so funny for some reason to me. And people for years did not believe she was real. Like, legitimately thought he was making up
There's
his
no.
wife.
I don't believe.
So
I don't
he
believe
had to
that.
bring
There's
her
no
on the
way.
show.
No one would marry Skip Bayless.
Well, she did. He brought her on First Take. This was like years ago. He brought her on First Take to prove she was real because nobody believed his wife was real. But she is. Yeah.
I feel like, Matt, when you go to VCR, you're just watching Skip Bayless reruns.
Oh yeah. You know it. I have a lady caller come over, and I'm just like, hey, you know what really gets me going? First Take episodes from 2011.
Yeah. You're like, do you mind if I set the mood? And then you
Yeah.
First Take
Yeah,
on
let me address this issue.
But you cut out. You cut out everything.
You know I'm sensitive about the Holocaust, but Skip Bayless nods.
You cut out everything that's
I
not
agree.
Skip too.
Yeah.
It's just Skip.
No, you gotta leave Stephen A in there.
Do you guys remember the old show before First Take? They had the show Cold Pizza.
Yeah, Cold Pizza.
Yeah. Yep.
That show was fun. Skip Bayless and Woody Page on that one. That was a great show. Anyway, just dating
before
myself.
Stephen A. They brought in Stephen A. and switched over to First Take. Which,
yep.
You know, I mean,
it
worked.
The rest is history.
An iconic show
Yeah.
that shaped 2 careers forever.
God.
All right, Matt, why not us?
Oh shit! Yeah, we're answering a question. I mean, I don't like seriously. I kind of answered this already, but the Knicks should obviously they can lose, but the only way they can lose to the Heat is if Jimmy Butler continues to go supernova for another full fucking series, which just seems so unlikely to me. Like, I don't see it. The Knicks are more defensively
I'm
disciplined.
not doubting Jimmy Butler.
What?
I'm not doubting Jimmy Butler. He's going to get all my respect.
It's more that I just like the Knicks are so much more defensively disciplined than the Bucks are. They, they're not going to choke because as much as Thibs makes mistakes, he fucking coached basically a perfect series against the Cavs, and I can't imagine him choking the way Budenholzer choked because the problem is that Budenholzer doesn't ever make adjustments, which we complained about with Thibs, but he is doing it now. So like, if Thibs is going to react and adjust, there's no one else good on that team. Bam is fine. Obviously, Jimmy's Jimmy, but like, who else scares you on the Heat? Nobody. It's Spoelstra being the coach that scares you, but I don't think there's enough of an intellect difference between Spoelstra and Thibs to allow the Heat to outplay the Knicks so severely they can win the series. So, assuming the Knicks get to the next series, it's going to be the Celtics because the Celtics are like the Sixers are just not a good matchup for the Celtics. Well, other way around. And the Celtics are going to see Emmanuel quickly walk into the court and collectively shit their pants. Like I said, would I expect the Knicks to lose that series? Yes. But I would be more surprised if the Celtics pants the Knicks than if the Knicks pants the Celtics. I could see the Knicks winning that series in 5. Like, it would be I just think they could just totally break the Celtics spirits. And then they're in the fucking finals. And who in the West scares you?
Why are all of it's always pantsed them, spanked them?
Yeah.
what is going on here?
You would say just such a funny word.
I've never heard the word pants used as many times as it's been used on this podcast.
It's just such a funny way. I like to, because I was using this yesterday when I was talking with Alex and Schwinn about Knicks Celtics. I just really enjoy the idea of the Knicks specifically pantsing the Celtics because like Bill Simmons is going to cry. All of the Ringer writers are going to cry. The Celtics will have their pants pulled down, so they won't be happy. I don't know. I just really enjoy that word specifically when it comes to beating the Celtics.
All right. Well, Schnookums, why not us? Could they could the Knicks pants every team in the league?
All I have to say is why not now?
Yeah. I mean, the real answer to why not us is just I don't know, because if the fucking universe wills it not so, like that's just kind of how sports work. Like
wills it not so.
Yeah, I mean that's just how sports work. Like if the universe wills it so that the Knicks are going to go on a run this year, then they fucking will. That's it. Very zen.
Wait, but seriously, I'm honestly, because I don't see anyone in the West who I would be worried about. Not that the Knicks can't lose.
Oh yeah, you did ask that question.
Yeah.
So obviously Golden State.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Although the reason I made a face earlier that you thought was it was because the Kings beat Golden State tonight. So
it's that's what you reacted to. Yeah, that was, and they pantsed them. I would actually be worried about the Kings, which I didn't think they were going to make it the next round. But I don't think the Knicks could keep up with the Kings on offense. So I'd be worried about the Kings.
Yeah, Kings, Golden State. I mean, even as much as I hate to say it, I think
if you say the Lakers, Dallas, I'm leaving this podcast.
I don't care. If they get their shit together, I could imagine Phoenix being a problem. Denver too is good. There's a lot of good there's a lot of very good teams that I don't know. Like, it's not that the Knicks couldn't beat those teams, but I think the worst matchups are Golden State and Sacramento for sure.
I agree with you there. I think. I mean, yes, like obviously Jokic coming into the Garden would be scary, but like I think they could do it. And they beat the Nuggets this year. You know, they can do it. I know. I'm just saying, like with their current rotation minus Hart, they beat the Nuggets. So like,
it's just, 2 games you just can't. I don't think you can take.
Yeah. I know. It's just not impossible. The Kings scare me more than the Warriors, because I think like the Warriors are so old that there's a chance they just run out of steam by the finals. But the Kings, I would probably think the Knicks can't beat.
Yeah. Like the Heat, we're gonna play the Heat, and it's gonna be like they're not gonna score 100 points in like 2 of the 5 or 6 games or whatever. Like that's for sure gonna happen, and we're gonna be able to just like limp our way to 108 or whatever, and and that's how we're gonna win like that. But you play the Kings, you don't put up 125. Like you're real. Even it doesn't matter how much you slow the ball down. It doesn't matter. It's really hard to stop an offense like that. Same with Golden State. Like you do whatever you want to Steph Curry. Choose your way of defending him. We've seen basically every type of defense on him, and nobody's ever slowed that offense down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think both of those teams, it would be we just have to have really great offensive showings to beat those teams.
I agree. Also, can you imagine the absurdity though of the Kings and the Knicks in an NBA Finals?
That would be
like
so great.
The two most beleaguered franchises in the entire NBA. Like
well,
for the last like 20 years.
Every pundit's picking the Kings in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Which, like, but yeah,
it would be such a meme finals too. Like that's everybody's meme for projection for the finals for the last like 20 years has been like Knicks Kings. When you want to like make a joke. All
the Kings sites are also like unnecessarily mean to us. They'd be so much meaner to us then. I don't know why. Kings fans really have it out for Knicks fans.
Oh, Kings fans. Because I feel like Kings Herald is like a nice sister site of the Strickland.
They're a sister site, but once or twice, like we were like having some good-natured ribbing on Twitter, and then all of a sudden they took it to like, we're gonna fucking murder your family. What the fuck? Calm down, buddy.
They live in Sacramento. What do you like? Come on.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you're from Sacramento, and like there would be like jokes about like New York City sucks, and be like, bro, you're from Sacramento. You're from like the 5th best city in your own state. Like, calm down. Like,
I don't even think 5th is. It's not 5th.
That's probably not even accurate. Yeah. 5th best large city in your state.
All right.
If that. Anyway.
No, you know what? I won't derail us again. We should really move on. I was going to make Dallas name the top 5 cities in California.
Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of questions.
All right. We'll make it quick though, because the next question is a strict yes or no. So Dallas, quickly, top 5 cities in California.
Oh, I was going to say, did you know that How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? The NBA Finals is Knicks Kings.
I saw that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's so top 5 cities in. Okay. Obviously, San Diego, LA, and San Francisco are in the top. And then you have like San Luis Obispo is awesome, gorgeous, beautiful, and like cool place. Probably 5. There's a lot to choose from. It's hard to say, but you could argue. You could argue someplace like Berkeley's pretty cool.
Cool.
Expensive though.
Well, there you have it. All right. Next question. Strictly yes or no. And if you say anything beyond yes or no, I will bleep it out on the podcast. No, I'm not going to do that. That's so much effort. I will just start talking over you loudly until you stop talking.
You don't have muting permissions?
My partner just texted me and said wrong answers. So
oh, hey.
she disagrees strongly.
Wait,
All
is
right.
she a California vet?
Yeah. She's
Get
from
her
here.
opinion and bring it up to us later in the pod.
Text me your answers. Top 5 cities in California.
All right, we'll revisit this in a second. All right, so our beloved Jerry Garcia, whoever this jackass is, wants to know, are, quote, we here, question mark. So yeah, Drew, to answer your question, yes, I can mute people, but instead I would just choose to talk over you loudly because it's more fun that way. It's a better meme.
Sounds good.
Drew, are, quote, we here, question mark?
No.
Okay. Matt, are we here?
No.
Okay. Dallas, are we here?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say yes. We're here. All right. Next question. Zan Rosen in the Discord wants to know Knicks and how many. We're going to make this pretty quick too. We'll make this a quick round robin. Knicks in blank. Dallas, Knicks and how many?
6.
Okay. Matt.
7.
7. All right. Doug.
4.
4.
4.
Let's go.
God damn.
All right.
Wait, Dallas, I never said the Knicks.
I got it right last time.
Oh, you said Knicks in 5?
I got it right. I think I'm pretty sure I did. We have to revisit.
To be honest, I wanted to say
Dallas.
6, but I didn't want to copy Dallas. I actually believe it's 6. I just didn't want to copy Dallas.
All right. I'm picking 5.
Oh man, did you ruin it? I would have said 6 then.
I'm taking 5 for the
4.
remaining.
Oh, if I said 6, you would have said 6. I got it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
But now Dallas said 6, I said 7, you said 4, and Alex said 5. So it's beautiful.
Yep. Now we've covered all the bases. I did it just for the equality of it all, to make it all just flow nicely.
We'll see who's right.
We'll see who's right. I'm sure. I want everybody to hold me to this. I definitely 100% believe they're winning in 5 games, and that it wasn't. I didn't do that just to pick.
Oh, we have a special guest coming on who I will not name, but you all know who I'm talking about. Heaton 4.
Heaton 4. All right. Next thing.
I'll put it in chat. I don't want to openly attack a person.
Please don't attack people. All right. Next question, also from Zan Rosen, wants to know who will be better this series, IQ or Grimes? Dallas, what do you think, IQ or Grimes?
I think Quickly. They're both going to be probably important though, but Quickly has just played extremely well against the Heat his whole career. He's our best zone attacker and our best blitz attacker. And those are 2 things that you're just going to want on the floor. Obviously shooting is good against those things too, which is why Grimes will probably have a good series as well. If he can hopefully I think every game he played in the Cavs series, he definitely on the offensive side of the ball was rushed and jittery and a little bit this is a big moment. The moment had him pantsed, if you will. I think I'd say Quickly. You never know though. Thibs clearly likes the Grimes on Butler matchup because he used that a lot this year. I think we'll see a lot of Josh Hart on him too. But if Grimes has a big defensive series, that could swing it his way.
Drew, Quickly or Grimes?
It's going to be Grimes, and Grimes is going to make at least 12 threes this series that I predicted is going 4 games.
So he's going to make 3 threes a game over a 4-game series?
Yes.
Okay. What's he going to shoot on those? 40%?
57%.
All right. So 4.7 attempts per game. He's going to make. Did I get that right? You're the math guy.
Is that math workable?
57% on 3 makes.
Look, that's all I got for you.
So it's 57% on three makes is he's taking 5.25 threes per game.
We'll ask our research team.
It is doable.
Behind the
That's
scenes.
21 threes. If he takes 21 threes over the 4 games and hits 12 of them, that is 57%. Good job, Drew.
Wow.
This has been Matt's Math Corner.
And here I was thinking
week to hear him divide.
Brought to you by the New York
NYPD.
Brought to you by the NYPD. Just
do math, not crack.
No, brought to you by the NYPD. Don't do any of the numbers about us, please.
Yeah.
Please don't learn statistics.
All right, Matt, who's gonna be better?
I'm inclined to agree with Drew just because he like literally pulled that out of his ass and was right, but I agree with that.
All right. I think it's also going to be quickly. I don't think that the Heat have a counter for him. I think that if Jimmy Butler wants to, like, on offense for Grimes, Jimmy Butler, if that's his assignment, like, Grimes will be put through hell on that end by Butler. But in all likelihood, Butler will probably be on RJ because he loves being his like weird big brother. So he'll probably like personally insist that he guard RJ the whole time. But Grimes will probably be on Butler, which could be demoralizing if Butler still keeps playing well. I don't know. I just think there's more. And also, I think that Quickly played better in the first round too. And I think that all that needs to start happening for Quickly is the shots to start falling. Whereas Grimes, I mean, maybe some of it is just the shots falling too, but Grimes looked way less comfortable than Quickly did in the first round. And so I think that like Grimes maybe by the end of this series hits where Quickly was, where he seems like he's just gotten his sea legs now and is like, okay, I'm good to go. Now the shots just need to start falling. Whereas Quickly, I think it's literally just like the shots need to start falling. And that's it. And in fact, I think he'll shoot 57% on threes in this series and make 12 of them in 4 games. That's my prediction. Totally original. I did all that math myself. Don't worry about it. All right. Next question comes to us from Bushy in the Discord. Wants to know, player-wise, who will be the Knicks X factor against the Heat? Matt.
I mean, if Grimes hits 12 of 21 threes, that's an X factor right there. I think Randall, if he's healthy, which it seems like he's gonna be. Like Thibs was definitely obfuscating today with all that. He looked okay, because then all the reports were like, we saw him go through an almost full practice, so Thibs is fucking lying to us. But so I think Randall's probably gonna play on Sunday. If he doesn't, I almost guarantee he's playing game 2. And I think if he plays like he played for that first half of game 5, there's nothing that he can do to stop him. Because who the fuck do they even put? Like, we talked about this at the beginning, but okay, they put Bam on him. So now Bam is like, totally pulled away from the basket. And Mitch is grabbing every offensive rebound possible, especially if the Knicks put Love in motion and get him away from the basket. Like, I think Randall is, really going to be a big part of the offense, more so than he was against the Cavs.
Drew, who's your X factor for the Knicks?
If we're going to assume RJ Barrett is still going to play like he is, then I would agree with Matt that it's Randall for like those specific reasons.
What do you think, Dallas?
That answer gave me. I thought you were going to say RJ Barrett because you were like, if RJ Barrett keeps playing awesome,
Me too. Yeah.
Julius Randle.
If RJ Barrett keeps playing well, it's Julius Randle. If RJ Barrett plays poorly, it's Barrett.
I love that reasoning. I'm going to go totally different and say Obi Toppin.
That was my backup answer.
Because he is somebody who could really be useful against traps in the middle of zones. Just his feel. I think his athleticism too to get to the rim in those when you have those gaps in the defense. I really think he could be super valuable, and especially if Julius has some injury trouble and can't be at full strength. We could see some Obi Toppin magic this series, which we saw a little bit in that Cavs series.
Dallas, I gotta just compliment your gesticulating throughout this whole podcast. It's been
he's always going
fantastic.
crazy. Yeah.
The
I'm Italian.
gesticulating.
I talk with my hands. My dad was a preacher, so I got this, like, I got the
And the facial expressions have been top tier.
Yeah.
Top,
Drew,
top
does he
tier.
do this every time? Or is this a special for
Every
us?
time.
He looks like a man
exhausted.
defeated. I totally believe that. Drew's like, I've seen this 600 times already.
but
special.
Drew doesn't put me on YouTube. I was born for YouTube.
You were born to be a video star. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say one very quick thing about Obi. I think getting out in transition is going to be big against the Heat too, and Obi, like, they do that obviously so much better with Obi on the floor than anyone else.
I'm gonna say I think my X factor is the same as last question. I'm gonna say quickly. I think it's quickly. I just think if he's really doing his thing off the bench, like we saw how well the Knicks did without really having much of any of his scoring until the final game of last series. If he does his normal, like 15 points per game and keeps contributing at as high of a level as he's been contributing in every other aspect of the game, like that's a huge game changer for them. I also think that he might draw the Butler assignment once or twice. And he's the type of guy that I could see more so than like a Grimes, who defends more in like a traditional way, like just staying in front of his man, which obviously is fundamentally perfect. But like that, Grimes is more the type of guy that Butler would want to physically bully and like kind of take to school. Whereas Quickly is, he has a significant size disadvantage with Butler, but has that like quick twitch, like just stab at the ball ability and like the turnover generating ability with the wingspan and everything. I think that would annoy Butler more than having Grimes on him. So I think there are going to be some times where we might see Quickly on Butler, and that could be a big X factor moment as well. All right. Next question comes from Villain X. Are the Heat better than the Cavs? My first inclination is no. Does it? I'll let whoever wants to speak up on this one speak up. But like my first inclination is no, they're not. The Cavs were a top 8 offense and number 1 defense in the NBA this year. And the Knicks, I think the Knicks just were a really good matchup for them, but the Knicks also made them look bad because the Knicks are playing that good right now.
The Cavs are a clearly more talented team, I think.
Yeah.
The Heat have better high-end talent. I would take both Jimmy Butler and Bam over anybody on the Cavs if I'm starting a franchise. But I still think like the Cavs are a little bit deeper and have more talent going down. But I think they're probably a little bit better team, the Cavs. But I think I'd pick the Heat in a series. After watching that Cavs series, knowing the intensity the Heat play with, and I just don't know that the Cavs would be able to withstand that intensity, even if they had a talent advantage, which wouldn't be that great because of how good Jimmy Butler is and Bam Adebayo is, I think.
Yeah, clearly the Cavs are not the best against tough teams, as evidenced by playing the Knicks.
But they also weren't in the regular season, and people kind of ignored that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Cavs were great at beating up on like mediocre and bad teams, but they were really they were fine against good teams, but the Knicks were excellent against good teams, and like they didn't really. I think nobody factored that in.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, the Cavs did take care of business, but you have to take care of business against bad teams.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
anyway, since I'm already talking, I agree that the Cavs are probably better, but that the Heat would win in a playoff series. I think one thing Dallas didn't mention is that Bickerstaff fucking sucks, and Spoelstra would coach circles around him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Thibs is coaching circles around you that much, that's I mean, Thibs was able to find in-game. Go ahead, Drew.
I don't know what Bickerstaff is supposed to do, though. He doesn't. The roster stinks.
No, I don't disagree with you there. I just think he did a bad job, even though he was dealt a bad hand.
I think that if you're giving Thibs opportunities to adjust in game and he's taking them and like managing to beat you with in-game adjustments, you're not doing a good job, because that's not Thibs' strong suit.
I get it. I'm just saying there wasn't much for Bickerstaff to do.
I mean, I think if I was JB,
when you're in the play, when you're in the playoffs and you're playing series, like your same opponent in a series, that type of style of basketball, two guys who are 6'1" at the guards, and then non-shooting big men, and then you have a 0 at the wing. Like it's fundamentally it's not a playoff basketball roster. It just won't work. It never will. So like I don't know what Bickerstaff's even supposed to do, because all of their wings suck. The best wing was Karis LeVert. Who are we kidding here with that? I just don't think the Cavs are just that good, and I don't know what Bickerstaff is even supposed to do with that team in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. They got some shit to figure out though. The Cavs, like roster construction wise or whatever, they did not have enough shooting up and down that roster, like, especially off the bench, and their bench was horrid, just absolutely terrible. So yeah, and it's and luckily we're not fans of an organization.
Knicks don't have to deal with it
like that. Yeah.
Speaking of not having shooting, though, they shot a lot better than we shot. They shot 32% from 3, and we shot like 28% from 3.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. But they didn't generate extra possessions, and that's what matters.
Key.
All right, let's move to our next question. This comes to us from Duder Adam. We got 2 from Duder that are somewhat similar. Wait,
is it the same question?
It's like basically the same question, but I feel like he forgot to delete one of them.
No, because they're different. Because embarrassing is something that, in my mind, embarrassing is something that happened to you, and ashamed is something you did.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yes.
Embarrassing in terms of pantsing, so I understand it better.
Yeah, I was good. You cut off my bit too early, because when I was with the question, I was going to say, oh, so would you say in honor of us pantsing the Cavs were each of your most pantsed moments? But
all right, well, let's go to the first one. In honor of I'm not going to say us. I don't my journalistic integrity. So. In honor of the Knicks thoroughly embarrassing the Cavs, what are each of your most embarrassing moments? Anyone want to take that first?
I don't know that I can think of my most embarrassing moment, but the other day I was at the climbing gym and I was like reaching for like a really hard, and I like exerted myself, and it was like evening rush, like it was busy. The whole climbing gym was packed. I reached for a hold, and as I really went, I like let out the loudest fart I've ever ever. But I was like on the wall, like 15 feet up, so like you can't like stop or look around or whatever. You just like know everybody's looking at you as you've just let out this loud fart. So that was a pantsed moment for me, for sure.
Did you got pantsed by the fart?
Yeah.
All right. Matt, do you have a most embarrassing moment?
Yeah. I'm gonna really dig deeper than Dallas here and not just talk about a fart. I'm gonna try to make this a very quick story. The overarching thing is, when I was 20 in college, I threw up on a date. Not on her, but like while I was on a date, I threw up. Yeah, I realized while we were eating ice cream that I had to puke, and sprinted away from her as far as I could and puked in a trash can. And we went out one more time, and it was super awkward, and I never saw her again after that.
I'm just trying to imagine where on our college campus.
That's right. Yeah, it was at Rita's. We went to Rita's, and that Rita's, that Rita's Italian Ice. Yeah, there's no indoors, and it was like 11 p.m. So also nothing else in the strip mall was open. So I couldn't go to any bathroom to throw up. So I had no choice but to get up off the bench, literally sprint as far as I could until I was like, this throw up is coming out. And then I went to the bathroom. I did not get very far. And so I threw up in the garbage, like probably 20 feet from her. And she was very nice about it. She called later that night to check on me. But yeah, we went out one more time, and I was like just convinced I was going to throw up the whole time. So I just kept running to the bathroom, and it was so awkward.
What the fuck? So you were convinced the lightning was going to strike twice? You were just going to
because I think it was anxiety that made me like. It wasn't that I was sick. I think I was anxious.
Why are you so anxious? Was she like really cute or something?
She was pretty attractive. So it was our second date too. I was totally fine on our first date, and then for some reason our second date, and we had kissed on our first date. So it's not even like I was anxious about it. I don't know why I was so anxious on the second date. But anyway, that's the third date was the disastrous one where I just acted like a weirdo and made her not want to see me again. So yeah.
Sounds about right.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. All right, Drew, do you have an embarrassing moment?
Yeah, I'll make it even faster. I got crossfaded on weed, alcohol, depression medication, and anxiety medication during a party I was hosting at my place, and I vomited everywhere. Then my partner's like, everyone needs to go.
Yeah, I don't know if I have like a singular moment that I would call like my most embarrassing, but I definitely have some like got too drunk and yacked all over moments. It also doesn't help that like the older I get, the less shame I have, where I'm just like, if something embarrassing happens, I'm like, well, it just happened, so whatever. I don't care. I feel like the thing I'm always most self-conscious about though is like I sweat a lot. So if I'm in a situation where nobody else is sweating and I feel like I'm sweating too much, I get like self-conscious and embarrassed about that. Those are probably my most.
And then you start sweating even more.
Yeah, it's such a simple little thing, but like that embarrasses the shit out of me. I fucking hate sweating so much. So that's probably mine. But then the similar but not the same question from Dude Adam, which maybe was meant to be deleted, maybe not. I don't know. In honor of the Knicks thoroughly shaming the Cavs, what are the pantsing the Cavs? What are the things each of you has done that you're most ashamed of? This seems like a really deep,
Yeah, I'm not doing this one.
I wrote an article once, a 3-parter.
I know what this is.
Arguing that Noah Vonleh could potentially be a primary initiator someday. So that's pretty shameful behavior.
There you go. Anybody else have anything to add?
I honestly can't think of one. I would tell a story if I could think of one, but I can't.
We all have thought of like 17, just to be clear, and we're just not going to say on a national podcast.
Well, here's the issue with a story you're ashamed of. You look way worse. Like, you know, something I'm embarrassed of, me puking on a date. It's funny. I was 20. Who the fuck cares? You know, like it doesn't matter anymore. Ashamed, it's a little. You're really bearing your soul to all the podcast listeners in a very different way.
Yeah, and I'm not ready to go there yet with the podcast listeners.
That said,
oh man, you guys are
cowards. Drew is about to bear his soul to the podcast listeners.
So here's what I did.
Oh man,
I'm probably pretty sure I've told this story anyway, where I put rec volleyball. I am in the middle of, I think it was probably like mid-season or something along those lines, and we have to officiate, like the teams themselves have to officiate each other, and this one person consistently kept calling any type of hit that I had with any sort of spin a double. And I'm like, no, it's not a double. Like I kept trying to explain, they were just like, that's not how it is, all that sort of stuff. Next game, I end up officiating for that team. So every single time they set the ball, I called a double or a lift on them every single time and gave the point to the other team. And they were like, what are you doing? And I go, well, you said if there's any sort of spin on the ball that it's considered double. And they go, not like that. And I go, oh, so you're saying the call, like spin doesn't actually matter in this case of whether or not I hit the ball twice or not. And they were just like, they were just not happy. And I was like, I'm sorry, those are the rules that you outlined to me. And then I stopped playing in that league after that, because that was one of the most shameful things you can do, is get that upset at anything as inconsequential as rec league volleyball, where all these people are just there to just decompress. And I took it to a level of petty, where I purposely ruined a game for a team because one of their players just couldn't care less about the calls, because she's been traumatized her whole volleyball career, probably with poor officiating that way. So
Well,
Pretty good.
I get
That's
those.
shame.
Those. Yeah. Same.
Shame, shame,
Shame.
shame.
Shame. Shame.
Shame on you, Drew.
Yeah,
for
one
letting it
time
get
I
to you.
didn't believe that the high septum of the seven was actually, and they made me walk down to King's Landing naked.
Shame.
Shame.
All right. That just reminded me that I subbed in on my friend's volleyball team a few weeks ago, and I kind of want to pursue that further. I
It's
enjoy
so
playing
fun.
volleyball.
I was just telling Drew the other day that I finally signed back up to play in the city.
It's so much fun.
Come back to New Jersey and play. Then we could be on a team together.
You come into the city and play.
Ew, no.
What?
Guys,
This
so
is
much-
backwards, dude.
Why would I come into the city to play? You come to New Jersey for work. Pick a league that
you come into but not where you're gonna play. You come into the city for work too.
No, I go to the ass crack of the city in Kearney, New Jersey. I don't go all the way.
It's going to be so much more fun playing rec in New York than it would be in New Jersey.
Yes.
How many times a week is it? And does your team have open slots?
It's one, and I don't know what team won yet. So,
Ugh. All right, I'll think about it. What day of the week is it?
Wednesday.
Okay, we'll talk about the soft air.
Okay.
All right.
Next.
I will say
13 patrons are going to show up at this volleyball league. That you guys
well, what I was just about to say was, if we're talking about shameful volleyball things, this is not as shameful as what Drew did, but they can listen to me every time I spike the ball and realize it's going out of bounds, scream "fuck" at the top of my lungs with around a bunch of strangers.
Oh, I do that too. I do that too. I am an absolute crazy person.
Anytime someone like spikes it on you, do you go, "Damn it, pants again"?
I don't yell. No, I say, gosh darn it, they pantsed me.
The most shameful thing Matt has done is he pants someone who spiked on him.
Yeah. Alex will enjoy watching me. A spike goes out of bounds. Fuck. A serve goes out of bounds. Fuck. It's just, it's really like no one's ever said fuck more than me.
I lose it too. I'm like that every single time.
All right. Next question comes to us from Tokyo Sex Whale, who I think used to be Jax365.
That's Jax.
Gone through a lot of name changes. If RJ plays as he, we sort of answered this already. I should have moved this up. If RJ plays as he did in games 3 to 5, how good will this team be?
Can I answer this one?
That's slightly different.
Yeah, the X Factor will be Julius Randle.
They win the series.
He plays as good as he did in games 3 to 5.
Wait, so
because Drew before said if we assume RJ keeps this up, Julius Randle's the X Factor. I was just yeah, we're gonna win the fucking series if he plays that well again. Absolutely. Yeah,
I think so too. I don't know. Do we need to elaborate much more than that on that?
No, but then we go pants the Celtics. I mean, how many times have I had to say it? Fucking pants the Celtics. We pants the Celtics.
I think Dallas is off doing a pantsing right now. I don't know. He just left.
We're in the middle of the podcast.
He just got up. And I need a break.
Saying pants 3 times in 3 seconds. But.
Oh, this is also something that happened.
Oh, we already did this
multiple
too.
times.
Yeah. Damn it, Jax.
He's yeah. All right, yeah. So we could do this question real quick while Dallas is here. How terrible is the Western Conference playoffs? Pretty bad.
Hey, didn't we already touch on this?
I think the Knicks would pants every team but the Warriors or the Kings. Pantsed. Isn't it so fun to say? I think more people should say pants in that context.
I'm just getting the giggles from it that we're so far in and we've said it so many times. Pantsed.
Many times.
Can you be shortsed?
Yeah, but you're still pants then.
No, it's a square rectangle thing.
No, they're still pants.
All shorts are pants, but not all pants are
shorts. All shortsings are pantsings.
Yeah, all shortsings are pantsings, but not all pantsings are shortsings.
These are shortsings. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
That's exactly
right. Next question. Another one from Jax365. Is Dean Wade better than RJ? Jax, you didn't ask a single real question this week.
I'm going to say no.
Is there anyone? Yes. If so, please exit the podcast right now. Dean Wade isn't even better than the guy he looks exactly like.
Didn't Dean Wade play 3 minutes in game 1 and then never again? Why did he even ask this question?
Did this come up? Was
Dean,
something? Go ahead.
Didn't
Drew.
Wade retire already? He retired.
It's Dwayne Wade. What?
Oh, my fault. I read it as Dwayne Wade.
What Drew here is doing is he's doing a pants.
Oh, he's pantsing us with sarcasm.
I'm shorting the podcast.
Thank God we're on our last few questions.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God, we're going off the rails. At some point this year, though, did someone say that Dean Wade was better than RJ?
Probably, yes. I assume there's something he's basing that on. Yeah.
It was a lot of people were talking about Dean Wade coming into the series too, like in Cavs world and whatever. It was surprising that he didn't play like
as an X factor.
My most favorite one was Lamar Stevens. Yeah, Lamar Stevens is going to be our kryptonite.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, "Who the fuck is Lamar Stevens?"
Literally never heard of him before. But
let me Google that guy real quick. To root for a team that doesn't have a consistent 10-man rotation they could deploy at any time. What a fucking poor life that is. All right, next question. Another one from Jax365. We got a run here from Jax. How pathetic were the Cavs' exit interviews? Did they say some pathetic shit?
Yeah.
I didn't really listen.
Rubio said something like, a lot of us still think like the Cavs are pretty clearly the better team. We just, had a bet. Something like that. Something like
Danny Green. They said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so the two scrubs said that their team was better.
It's very funny.
You know how it is. Like after your intramural team gets pantsed, and then you go back in the locker room, and you're like, we were way better. We're better than them. Like we just had a bad night. Like you always say that to yourself.
If I had just kept those serves in bounds, we would have won. Instead, we got pantsed.
Yeah.
Any other night, we would have pantsed them. It would just be. It's unlucky we wore those loose jeans.
Next time we'll wear a belt.
Off.
Need better drawstrings.
Coach told us wear some tight pants, and we didn't listen.
Can you imagine a team coming out like so worried about being pants that they like their strings are like double knotted? They've got suspenders on. They put a belt on over their shorts.
I would love that.
Yeah.
How has nobody ever gotten pantsed in the UFC?
That's a good question.
Or in the NBA? Why does it never happen? It should happen.
Well, Paul Pierce pantsed himself when he shit his
he
pants
pooped
during
himself.
that game.
Well, yeah, that's true. Like, how are people not getting pantsed in professional sports all the time?
Well, Jared Smith tied someone's shoes together.
Yeah, Jared Smith has someone's shoes.
That was amazing.
Dylan Brooks is definitely going to like pants LeBron in one of these games. If they make it to Game 7,
I think if someone pants me in a basketball game, I'm probably fighting them. Like, who are we kidding? Like, you're fighting them.
You're like diving after you reach out. You're trying to like it. Just how does it not accidentally?
No. That's different. No, that's different. Like if I'm at the free throw line and like the player behind me.
Yeah, I'm imagining
right
someone
before my
taking
shot,
shots and just one of the guards in the backcourt just fucking yanks the pants down.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The Cavs exit interview. So Danny Green and Ricky Rubio both said the Cavs are still better than the Knicks and they just tried harder than us, which is honestly fucking embarrassing to admit if that's the case. And then Donovan Mitchell spent like 5 minutes talking about how he, thought he was be on the Knicks again, which is hilarious. Jared Allen's the only one who like actually took a sober view of the series.
All right. Well, in that case, that sounds pretty pathetic. So maybe I should go watch all these. I would love to hear the two guys that played like 5 minutes and like were active negatives for their team say that they thought that their team was better than the Knicks, who beat the shit out of them and pants them.
If we beat the Heat, we're gonna get a Udonis Haslem interview. That's like we're the
we
Miami
were better.
Way better. Yeah. Just they got.
I know that our team is in all caps for a reason. It's all caps.
And culture.
Eat culture.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway. All right. Next. It's not even a question. What a way to end the show. Well, I guess it's sort of a question, but something that we're probably not going to have tons of thoughts on. ZMP323 returns for one last question. Thoughts on this? And it was RJ's Instagram. It was a post. Said, it's really hilarious. My wife sent me this. the other day when she saw it, she was excited about it. So RJ said on Instagram, excited to announce a new collab between and celebrating. Wait, oh, I think there was supposed to be like a hashtag there or something between Starbucks or something and celebrating the new ready to drink Starbucks pink drink and paradise drink. Drops this Friday, 4/28, 12 p.m. Oh my God, that was today and I didn't even get one. Get your own sip and sling bag through the link in the bio. I didn't get my sip and sling bag. God damn it. I'm distraught.
What thoughts are we supposed to have on this?
We're giving free advertising to Starbucks now. We're just giving that out.
No, RJ is, but it's not free for him. We're giving RJ free advertising to advertise Starbucks and get paid.
There's
no
free
have high standards
for
a podcast as pristine and professional as this one. No, just free advertising to anywhere. If Starbucks wants to advertise on here, they got to pay up.
But you know who doesn't have to pay? The NYPD.
The NYPD.
We do that for free.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Here's a way to counterweight Starbucks. What's your favorite local roaster and or shop of coffee?
I mean, well, mine. Nobody's gonna know what mine is because they don't.
Doesn't matter.
No,
There's some people that listen to our stuff in California.
That's true. If you live in San Diego or you live in DC, Vigilante Coffee makes incredible beans. They're really, really top notch.
Why aren't you going to say the one that I went to that you told me to go to?
Yep, they're awesome too. Bird Rock Coffee is
lied
awesome.
to you.
Huh?
Dallas,
you were talking about
you, Drew. He lied to you about what place to go.
I know. I am so mad right now.
What?
He told me the backup.
Oh,
you didn't give me the best record.
You were really you would have to drive like 40 minutes and you didn't have a car.
I don't see what the problem is.
Dallas is like, man, people know me at Vigilante. I don't want Drew going there and fucking things up for me.
Man.
This guy's gonna show up
because you know what'll happen.
Because he's scared of getting pants.
Just immediately walk in and say, "This place was recommended to me by Dallas."
And then the next time they'll be like, who is that fucking Boston Jagoff that came in?
Why
here?
was he wearing 6 belts?
Oh man. Drew, give a little coffee rec before we go.
Night Shift Brewery. They also make coffee.
Cool. Matt, coffee rec.
I don't drink coffee.
Matt,
What?
tea rec.
What?
I don't really drink tea either.
What?
Matt, favorite
Water?
Favorite Mountain Dew flavor.
Are you alive?
Yeah. I drink a lot of water.
Matt, favorite craft beer right now.
I don't really drink beer, dude.
Oh my god.
No.
You know this about me. I mostly drink cocktails out.
I know, I do know this all about you, but I'm still I got you to drink a beer.
You still didn't give me your favorite
I
Mountain Dew
will
flavor.
drink beer. But
First of all, it sounds like you don't enjoy life. But what is your favorite cocktail?
My favorite cocktail is okay. So I really like. There's this. I'm gonna do a free ad for Ampersand in the city. My favorite cocktail is at Ampersand on 23rd and 3rd, and they do this cocktail called the Gold Rush, which is very simple. It's bourbon, honey, and lemon juice, and it's so good.
Cool. I take that. All right, I'm gonna go back to coffee because that was what we started on. Joe Coffee in New York City. They're cool. They've got a few locations.
There's one right near me.
Yeah, and their beans are really good. So you could go to a shop or you could just order the beans online and get them. And they're what is it? Big City blend. If you like sort of a medium dark roast, fantastic. I freaking love it. It's like one of my go-tos. So, all right. Well, we sort of just ended on plugs too. Is there anything else anybody else want to plug anything before we get going?
I'm gonna plug pantsing and getting pants.
Yeah, wearing tight pants that you can't get pants.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like Kramer and Seinfeld when he's got the jeans that he can't get. All right, cool. Getting pantsed. Yep. I endorse getting pantsed. Or doing pantsing, but not getting.
Yeah, you don't want to get pants.
I also want to plug Schnookums on
nice.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
Yeah, I want to plug skeeting. Everybody get on Blue Sky and start skeeting. instead of Twitter, because that's the thing. Drew, anything to plug?
Wait, Dallas, we never got your partner's top 5 cities.
Oh yeah,
she texted me them. So she agrees with some of them. She says San Diego, San Clemente, Santa Cruz, terrible choice. She doesn't know what she's talking about. That's disgusting. Santa Barbara, and then she made a great choice here, Mammoth. I forgot about Mammoth. Mammoth is incredible.
Why would you do 4 San and Santas and then not the 5th one? That's upsetting to me.
It was on
She said it was on purpose.
Okay, then I respect that.
So,
I respect
but
that.
LA and San Francisco left off the list entirely.
I would call LA
Doesn't
sucks.
like
LA sucks.
it's got good food. It's got some good stuff.
It's not a city.
LA is great.
That's everything in California is like that. All the cities are that way.
Wait,
No,
ask her,
San Francisco feels like a city.
Dallas, ask her real quick before we sign off. How far down the list is Sacramento?
How far down the list is Sacramento?
It's not on the list.
Oh, Sacramento got pants.
Sacramento got pants.
All right. On that note, this has
Not
been.
even
Oh,
on
Matt,
the list.
Matt, did you look up what episode this was?
No. Vamp
All
for
right.
30 seconds.
Nope. This has been episode blank of Knicks
Hold on,
Mail.bag.
I'm almost there.
Special
It's-
crossover edition.
It's
Yeah, it's been episode
87.
1.
It's
Episode
87.
1 of the mailbag crossover.
Nice.
Yeah, except for that's
no,
not.
we've
even
already
true.
had a
We've definitely
crossover.
done
Yeah,
it.
we've done this before.
Definitely
It's
done this before.
without you. You weren't here. It's episode 87.
All right.
And I think we
Just
can never do this
publicly
again.
fencing me like
Yep.
that.
This has been episode
Never.
87 of
Never
Knicks
again.
Mail.bag. Thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye. Go Knicks.